Hey, this is Joy. Welcome back for another Whimsy Stamps video. Today I've got an easy holiday card to share with you, creating a distress ink Northern Light Sky. I think you're going to love it. For this, I use the Vintage Christmas Stamp Set, the Star Galaxy Stencil, and 2 pieces of cardstock to create the scene. Later, I bring in a matting layer and a card base. I am using distress inks in the colors of Twisted Citron, Villainous Potion, Prize Ribbon, Chip Sapphire, Black Soot, and a little bit of tumbled glass. I even bring in some lightweight, fluffy modeling paste, which is not something I do often. Thankfully, I stamped my image using the Mini Misty because I forgot to prime my stamp before using it, as it was brand new. So I had to go back in for a second impression. I used Eclipse Black ink. And here I'm showing you that I've got the 2 pieces of paper and where I'm going to create my horizon. I did draw in lightly with a pencil, and coming in with a domed foam applicator, I am putting down Twisted Citron. I could care less what this initial blend looks like, to the point that I didn't even care that I had that harsh circle in the center. I am just trying to prime my paper and to get a rough coat of ink down, because when I blend inks, I go over it at least 2 times, sometimes 3. So after I put in the 3 stripes of Twisted Citron, I came in with the Villainous Potion. Remember that greens and purples a lot of times make brown, so don't go over this too much, like overlap the colors. Normally I tell you to overlap colors when you're blending, not so much here. In fact, I almost leave a little bit of a white stripe in there. And then I do repeat this Villainous Potion, and you're going to see how much darker it gets on that second blend. And at this point, I'm kind of tilting my hand and the applicator, so I'm using the side of it. That way I'm not getting into the Twisted Citron too much. I do the exact same thing. I'm tilting my applicator and I'm putting in the Twisted Citron. And here you're going to start to see that vibrant color starting to take place. And again, I'm not 100% caring about this blend. So now I need to make this horizon kind of blend down into the snow scene. So I decided to bring in tumbled glass. And tumbled glass is going to be the main snow color. But I do decide that we need to have prized ribbon in there. And prized ribbon is kind of the go-between color between the really dark sky and the tumbled glass. And it's going to give us a better horizon line. And I do put down a pretty heavy coat of this prized ribbon, even over the Villainous Potion and parts of the Twisted Citron, because I'm trying to close in the sky so that we just don't have this garish looking striped sky that's a mess. I always say that when you're making these galaxy or northern light skies, that it looks really bad until it doesn't. I am using 80-pound Hammermill cardstock, so I do spritz this lightly with my distress sprayer, but not heavily, because it won't take a lot of water. If you want a lot of water, or if you want to use a watercolor background, I would say use like Bristol Smooth. So I dried that off camera with a heated tool. And now I am putting the TCW lightweight fluffy modeling paste, any modeling paste or any mousse, anything that you have will work for this. And I'm just smearing that through the Star Galaxy stencil. Once I remove that, then I take some fine grit iridescent glitter and put that on there, and I put it off to the side to dry. Now I am coming in with this church. I start out with a C7 Copic marker, and I am putting in the shadows. Since this is a night sky, I am imagining that this is a white church with white snow on it. So I still have to put in a lot of shadow. That is why I'm going in with a C7, which is a dark color, but when you put it up against a dark sky, all of a sudden everything that seems dark is light. So I'm just putting that in wherever the snow is overhanging onto the building, or where some of the shadows would be for the church. I don't make this into rocket science. Again, my sky is the focal point of this card, even though we do have an image. Also, what I find is the artist drawn lines, she's got a lot of hash marks in there, so it's already telling you where your shading should be. A lot of people are afraid to color some of these images because of the hash marks. This is actually a really good image to try if you're a beginner Copic colorist or any type of colorist, no matter what medium you're using, because she gives you a lot of hints as to where to put your shadows and your detail. Now, where these hillsides are, I am dotting in the C3 and C1. Now, the artist had already dotted some of that in, so I just extended these lines. And I also drew in where my hillside was going to continue. From there, I dotted in the C1. And then for the trees, I'm imagining most of it is colored or is covered in snow. So I am using a BG96, and I am dotting in some green underneath where the shadow of the snow would be overhanging the branches. And then from there, I dot in the BG93. The coloring on this, I don't even really consider it coloring. I am just dotting in stuff to give the illusion of shadows and some light bouncing. So here you're going to see a close-up of that, and you're going to see where that, where the snow-covered roof had a lot of shadow as well. I am now coming in with a B, V as in Victor, 00 marker, and I'm continuing to dot in. So my larger dots are where the artist drew in where the shading would be, and then I start to lighten those and draw them out. And I'm extending the driveway, and I'm also dotting in some BG11. The BG11 is kind of pushing some of that ink back, but it's also giving the illusion of some glistening snow. Because when you look at snow, everybody says it's white, but really there's a lot of gray in there. There's a lot of other colors that are bouncing off from what our scene is. So I brought in the BG11 to pick up that twisted citron color. Now, if I had been brave, I maybe would have gone into with a YG01, but I wasn't brave enough, nor did I think that we needed to translate it. Now, I am using my brother Scan and Cut to cut this out because there is not an accompanying die. So I take a mechanical pencil and I draw a harsh line where the hillside would be so that the Scan and Cut picks it up. I also took my BV00 and outlined the church. That way it would know what to cut around. So I cut down the panel to 3 3/4 by 5, and then I put the church where I wanted it. So if you're loving this project, please give us a thumbs up. Consider liking, subscribing. We do appreciate that. Here I am adding a sentiment strip from the Christmas Moments stamp set and some diamond stickles just to make the snow glisten some more, because I think every holiday snowy card needs as much sparkle as possible. I just love this. Here are some final looks at my card. I had so much fun hanging out with you. This is what I love to do, and I hope that you took something away from this. Until next time, keep crafting, my friends. If I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care. Bye-bye.